Hey guys, welcome back to Magic TV. My name's Craig. It is 9 o'clock on a Sunday, which means it's time for a review show special. And this is where I take a deep dive into a particular creator, a particular company, a particular production company, a particular trick, and kind of tell you everything that you need to know. And I'm going to tell you right now about probably one of the best any card at any numbers that I've ever seen. And I genuinely mean that. This is an incredible any card at any number. Now, I'm obsessed with ACAAN. I absolutely am obsessed with ACAAN. And I've got different ACAANs that I use in different situations. My favourite is the Atomic deck, obviously. But I've got a bunch of others. Probably, I think I've published more ACAANs than anyone else. And there's certain things that I think make a good ACAAN, and different people have different criteria. Well, this particular trick is from my friend Lloyd Barnes. And it's a version of ACAAN that he's created based off the Atomic deck, actually. The interesting thing about this trick is that you cannot buy it. You cannot buy it anywhere. If you want to get it, you have to be a part of Lloyd's Patreon, the Society of Secrets. Now, there's lots of different Patreons. There's a lot of different streaming sites. The Netrix is a perfect example of an incredible streaming site. I am biased. The Society of Secrets is Lloyd's Patreon. And the thing that makes it a little bit different to everyone else is community. You know, the community inside the Society of Secrets is incredible. It's got a very active Discord channel. And Lloyd really only shares his best material in there. His coin in bottle is incredible. Well, this has just been uploaded onto his Patreon. And you can access it for free. You don't pay anything. If you're a member of his Patreon, then you get it for free. Not only that, but Lloyd has given a discount code. He's given a 50% discount code, which you can use down below. And if you sign up to his Patreon, you're going to get 50% off, which is amazing. And you'll get access to this trick and a bunch of others. But when Lloyd showed this to me, I was so blown away. I was so fooled. I had to review it, even though it's not kind of a product, even though it's not something you can buy. And in essence, it's an ACAAN. It uses an app. Now, I know from the Atomic deck, not everybody likes using an app. I say an app, it's not an app. That's actually wrong of me. It's not an app. It's a site that they go to on their phone. So during the course of the presentation, they use their phone to access a website, and everything happens on that website. Now, you're not like hacking their phone or using Inject or Wikitest to pair your phone to theirs. You're not using an FC tag or anything like that to put a secret shortcut onto their phone. It's nothing like that either. It is a website that they can access themselves. Once they've accessed it, they can use that website. It will appear like what it is meant to be used for. And yeah, it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible because it's very fair. Now, I'm not going to say anything else just yet. I want to have a look at a performance of this. So my friend Thomas Maloney came into the office. He hasn't seen this, and I performed it for him. And he had some things to say about this, including comparing it to the Atomic deck. So I'm not going to say anything else. Let's have a look at this performance by me to Tom, so you can see exactly what the trick looks like. What's most important is this deck of cards.
Okay.
I'm going to take them out of the box. I'm not going to change the order.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, there's 52 cards in the deck. Before I go any further, if you were going to name a position from 1 to 52, what position would you name?
16.
You'd name 16? Okay, interesting. We'll get back to that. Because here's the thing. When you have someone name a number, most of the time it's completely arbitrary random number. It's rare that they'll focus on specific numbers. But if you ask someone to name a card in the deck, there are certain cards that come up again and again.
Yeah.
There's certain cards that are quite prominent. So we're going to try and have you select a card in a truly random way.
Okay.
Take out your phone, go into the browser. I want you to go onto that website right there. Okay? And tell me when you are there. Okay? And it should bring up a website.
Yeah.
What's it saying?
It's got that.
Oh, high score. Put my high score in 84. So what this website is it's designed to help people improve their memory.
Yeah.
And it uses playing cards to help people improve their memory. And how it basically works is You, in a minute, you can do this. You press new card, and not yet, but when you press it, it changes that card there.
Okay.
And then when you press recall, and you can press it a bunch of times, you have to try and remember the order.
Yeah.
And press recall, you have to try and remember what it is, and it tells you if you're right or not. It's kind of interesting. A lot of card counters use this.
Yeah, like yeah, I've seen
Card
apps like that.
counting, yeah.
Trying to learn a stack.
We're going to use it to create a random card.
Yeah.
But first of all, just press new card a few times, and I want you to confirm, because they can't see your screen.
Yeah.
Keep pressing it. Every time you press it, can you confirm there's a different?
Yeah, different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Brilliant. So in a second, you're going to press it again. Now, before you do, let me explain why we're doing it this way.
Yeah.
We're doing it because in day-to-day life, generally as a rule, people see the same images over and over again. So when you have someone name a card, because a lot of people don't play cards unless it's like once a year and they get the deck out at Christmas and covered in crap, you know.
Yeah.
Normally, an ace of spades will pop up quite a lot on tattoos and
Yeah.
on t-shirts, and same with the Queen of Hearts, you know, you've got it in pop culture all over the place.
I always keep Queen of Hearts in my wallet.
Exactly, right? Ace of Spades, Queen of Hearts. Jack of Spades is another one as well. There's certain cards that if you ask somebody on the spot to name a card, they'll go for the same card.
Yeah.
So this is going to randomize it. Every time you press it, it's a completely different card.
Okay.
Right? So what I want you to do is I want you to press it again. Okay. So you just come up with a card. You can tell everyone. Well, actually, before you tell everyone, I want you to understand that. I mean, that's the card that is generated, but you can press it again and go for a completely different card at this point. If you want to stick with that, that's fine. If you want to go for a different one, that is also fine.
I don't know, I think you're forcing me to change it, so I'm not going to change.
You don't want to change?
No.
It's really important that you could if you wanted to. You understand that, right?
Stick it to my guns.
You're going to stick.
Yeah.
Final answer.
Yeah.
Ask the audience. Phone a friend. 50-50.
What do you think I should do?
Ask the Michael.
Stick, yeah.
Stick. Okay. To be clear, if you had have pressed it again, can you confirm to everyone it's a different card?
Yeah.
And if you had have pressed it again, it's a different card.
Yeah.
And it's a different card. And to be clear, just for people watching at home, he could have changed his mind as many times as he wanted to, and you can press it, and every single time it's a different card.
Yeah.
Can you confirm?
Yeah.
But you didn't do that. You ended up on the 5 of spades. Is that right?
Was it 5 of diamonds?
No, it was the 5
Five
of spades.
spades,
It was
okay.
the 5 of spades, yeah.
Sorry.
And you can put the phone, switch the phone off and put it down there now.
Yeah.
And then you have the deck
Mm-hmm.
that's not being touched.
Yeah.
I actually can't remember. What was the number?
16.
At the very beginning, it said
Yeah,
16.
16, yeah.
16. Okay, so what I want you to do is pick up the deck and hold it if you're about to deal. And then what I want you to do is I want you to deal 15 cards face down onto the table.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Deal this one?
Yeah, that's 15, right? You said 16, didn't you?
Yeah.
So that's the 16th card. Yeah, so deal that face down there.
Yeah.
And just think about this for a minute. This is a normal deck. They're all there. They're all different.
Yeah.
And you could have ended up on any card. You ended up on the 5 of spades.
Yeah.
But if you pressed it again, it would have been a different card. Pressed it again. If you'd left it and it literally generated.
Yeah,
and when I leave, or you leave, you can play with that, and it is actually an actual
Yeah.
thing, and you can play with it, and you can see that it's exactly what I'm saying it is. But you ended up on the 5 of spades,
Yeah.
and you said right at the very beginning 16.
Yeah.
That is the 16th card. I didn't touch the cards.
Yeah.
I didn't pick them up. You did the dealing. You did everything.
That's better than the atomic deck.
Shut up! That is not.
I
No, it's not. No, it's not. That is a great reaction. Tom really loves this. He's going to be joining Lloyd's membership just so he can get access to this trick. Now, I was able to sit down with Lloyd Barnes. Lloyd is a very busy guy. He's in charge of a million different things at Murphy's Magic. But I had a chance to sit down with him and talk to him about this ACAAN. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play you the video. You're going to see exactly what Lloyd had to say. I asked him all about it, where it came from, you know, basically everything. So you're going to have all your questions answered. I want to say thank you to Lloyd for finding time to do this video. Let's have a look at what Lloyd's got to say.
I'm here with the legend himself, Lloyd Barnes. How are you, my friend? You good?
Good, man. How you doing?
Well, I'm really excited to get you on here because, dude, you showed me this when I was at Cardiff, and you blew my mind. I thought I knew where you were going, and then you completely destroyed me. Like, I had no clue. And I remember sitting there in TGI's, you just showed me, and I was just like, this just doesn't make any sense at all. I can't understand how this works. This is brilliant, Lloyd. This is absolutely genius level thinking. Like, brilliant. So I want to ask you a few questions. So first of all, where did the inspiration for this come from?
So two places. When we first made the atomic deck, and we were coming up with this idea for the website. Remember that little group chat thing? And then literally in there, it was like, oh, we could also do it with a regular deck as well. Stack. And we had a little bit of a chat about that. So I don't know what year that was. 2008, 23 or something, a couple of years ago. Anyway, and so that had sort of been in there. And I think we'd even discussed certain elements of it afterwards as well. And then it was that, and then with a combination of a bit of Maxim, my ACAAN app, because some of the things in there are sober with that. And so that was like the kind of inspiration. And then in recent times, some things have come up just that are like in a similar ballpark. So the first thing was there was the guy called Joko in the Atomic Deck Facebook group developed a new version of the Atomic Deck website that randomized the card and the number. So instead of the audience picking any card and any number and seeing what their likelihood of anyone else choosing that combination was, his version was it would just randomize the cards and the numbers like crazy and give you a perfect result every time, but it felt very fair. So that exists. And it's also the ACAAN by Kavan Booth, which is it's sort of like Joko's website, but using a regular deck where they randomize a card, randomize a number, and it always gives you a perfect ACAAN results. Really, really smart thinking going on all across the board there. But this exists in the same sort of field as all of that, but then also its own separate entity as well. Because for me, like, it didn't make sense to randomize the card and the number.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like my own style is different from other people's style. We spoke about this in the podcast, but like, if I write down 1,000 ideas a year, the 1% that get released are the ones that are the ones that get asked to be released. But they're always ideas that are designed for me. That's why most of them don't get seen, because the people would be like, yeah, I wouldn't do this because it's for me. So this was very much designed for my performance style. And so, yeah, so then it's sort of amalgamation of the Maxim thing and all that. But yeah, here we are. That was the sort of.
Yeah, and without giving so much away on all those other methods, you're right. They have to, the way that it looks is the website or the portal they're on. It randomizes the card and the number, but people are going to see a performance of this in a bit. With this particular effect, they name any number that they want to, or the number is immaterial. The most important thing is you're using this website to create a card, and it feels really, really random, and then you show that it's a correct hit. Like, and because of that, I think that the website is justified really well, because
that was the main thing, was justifying this website.
Yeah.
And then also being able to strictly allow them to change their mind over and 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 over again, like giving them this ultimate freedom. So for me, like, kind of the premise is that I'd say, look, if I was to ask you to name any number between 1 and 52, what would you say?
30.
Now look, I'm pretty confident there's no way I could have known you were going to say 30, because numbers are so sporadic and we see them so often in our day-to-day life that number 30, it could be the age that you met Sarah. It could be the day of the month you were born. It could be the minutes past the hour. It could be the number on the door of your house. It could be that when you walked into the studio today and you saw the number 30 on a bus. There's no way I could know which number could have influenced you, or you could have seen today, or in your entire lifetime, for just randomly splurred out now.
Yeah.
But with playing cards, not just because of my profession, but also because of psychology and pop culture, it's pretty much take a very well-educated guess that if I was to ask you as a layperson, not as Craig Petty, what to think of a random card, almost I'm always within one or two of what it is. For example, if there's a group of us here, all of you think of a random playing card. Hands up if you thought of it or it went through your mind, think of the Ace of Spades, Queen of Hearts, Seven of Hearts, or a Jack of Spades. And you will get the majority of people going, oh, fuck, yeah. And so I say, look, based on that, because people see the Ace of Spades in songs or in tattoos or the Queen of Hearts in pop culture, posters, Alice in Wonderland is everywhere. And favorable numbers like sevens and favorable suits like hearts, they're just much more common. So people, although numbers are much more sporadic and they can just pull from an everlasting bank of inspiration, playing cards, there's an entire spectrum of the deck to think of, but people will just think of the one they can see, as you've all just illustrated. But what I want you to do, I don't want you to go home and think that, card I thought of is one that he could have taken a pretty well-educated stab at beforehand. Because I've used that in the past and it has worked, I'm telling you up front. So I would also have you pick a card at random, but you're holding onto that deck and I don't want to touch it. I don't want it to be manipulated in any way. So go online, go to this site, and go through all the random cards. And it's going to show them random playing cards. And I say, look, and you can see those cards. You can see there's are you happy those are cards that you never would have thought of off your own volition, standing here right now. And they see literally the whole balance of the deck running through. 2 of diamonds, 10 of spades, 4 of clubs, 5 of diamonds. And they're like, yeah, no, I wouldn't. And you're like, are you happy those are random cards and that they're not the ones that would have, and they're like, yeah, fit. But that's your premise. That's your effect. You say, so look, whenever you are happy, pick one. So do you want to stick with that or change your mind? Do you want to stick with that, change your mind? Do you want to stick with that, change your mind? And you literally ask them over and over and over and over and over again. And the card they select will be a perfect hit for the effect you're performing. And it's completely hands-off, aesthetically easy to do, but there's lots and lots and lots of layers of deception built in that mask and hide this. And so it's an ultra worker.
Really?
And obviously it uses stat, but you can choose from 1 of 5 stacks. So there's the Monica, Sons, Stebbins, 8 Kings. Is it 5 or 4 in total? Oh yeah, 4 in total. 8 Kings, Aronson, Stebbins, Monica. Even though
you don't need to know any stack. It's not like you need to know Mnemonica or Aronson or whatever. It's not about memory work on your part at all because everything's happening behind the scenes. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to memorize it.
You don't even need a phone. And this is kind of why it's not a product. It's just on my Patreon for free to full paying members because it's so there. Like you could just.
That's the thing. There's no apps. There's no linking between their phone and your phone, like a wiki testing or an inject thing or something like that. There's nothing like that. They go onto a website. The website I love because it looks like a website that trains people to count cards. And when you finish the trick, they could actually use that website to actually do what you say this website does.
It's a memory training website. So it's for people that either want to count cards, like in blackjack, or just train the memory, like a memory training website that literally the other ones out there that teach you. So it shows random cards, and their job is to try and memorize the order, and they can like sort of test that they want to and things. So it's just based off real websites that exist for brain training.
Yep.
And it's just the card. So the one thing I'll say is that there's so much freedom in the changing of their mind that they can do. But because of the way it is, if you're familiar with Maxim, then it's not in rare instances, you don't end up performing any card at any named number. There's a slight deviation, which ends up being stronger.
How it was when you did it to me, when you performed it for me, it wasn't the number I said, it was something else. And that's what blew my mind. I was like, because I know Mnemonica, you were performing it on me, and I was like, oh, okay. I saw what was, I was like, okay, this is clever, well done, Lloyd. And then you were like, you can change your mind. I'm like, I can do what now? I can change the card. He's like, yeah,
Again,
Change-
again,
and
and
he's like,
again.
change it again, change it again, change it again. I'm like, how is this even possible? And that's what floored me. That's what completely floored me. That thinking right there is absolutely genius.
Thanks, man. Thank you. Yeah, well, yeah. So that's basically it. So again, it's not for sale. It's not a trick to buy because it couldn't be turned into a product. If you're a member of my Patreon, if you're a full pay member, it's free. Just go and get it. If you're a full pay member, it's up there, and that's it. And
that
that's
is the Society of Secrets. Now, the Society of Secrets is accessible through Patreon. You just search Society of Secrets. When you, how much is it? I mean, I pay for a year, so I don't know how much it is monthly.
it depends if you pay through your Apple phone or not. But it's like 15 or maybe not a month. I don't know. It's around like the price of 2 pints.
Yeah.
A month.
It's
2
not that.
pints of lager in a pub.
And there's some, just so you know, I mean, we're talking about a review of this particular trick. I saw it and I said to Lloyd, I need to do a review show special on this. But when you get onto the Patreon, first of all, you got access to the Discord, which is a great Discord server to be a part of. It's very active. But as well as that, you've got the entire back catalogue of everything Lloyd's ever put on the Society of Secrets, including his lecture notes from Blackpool. The best coin in bottle that I've ever seen is on there. Like the best, no arguments. The best coin in bottle that I've ever seen by a country mile is on there. You've got like a really deep dive into how to create an ACAAN. I think you did the same with color changing decks. You've got so much stuff on there that you actually
Creativity lot. Well, the difference with it is compared to like other memberships that like it's only my absolute best material, and it's nothing that gets shared anywhere else. So you can only learn it on the Patreon, and it's only for people who are like proper dedicated magicians that want to learn like the art. You know, I spoke about this in the podcast. There's like there's stuff that I do which will never be mass marketed. And it lives there. It's just like the shit that's just way too good. It lives there. And this is just another thing on there. I've got like web apps that are on there and all sorts of like crazy shit just for those members because they're special.
Yeah, and this, although I love everything on there, this is one of my favorites. This is just brilliant. I'm going to be performing the ever-loving crap out of this. It's awesome. So, Lloyd, thank you so much. I'm going to go back into the studio now, do a performance, do a review. Spoiler, it's going to be a great review. But I know you're busy. I know you're running around like headless chicken. Thanks for coming on the channel.
Thanks, dude. Thanks for having me. And if anyone picks this up, then I hope you enjoy it. And we're all looking forward to seeing any new members that come and join the Society of Secrets. And in fact, I'll do a promotion for you guys listening right now. I've only ever done this once in like the 2.5 years that it's been running, but I'll do 50% off discount for the new members. So go in. The promo code will be. I'm gonna say it, but no, I'll just keep the promo. The promo code is Craig Petty. Sign up with the promo code Craig Petty. You'll get 50% off your first month. And you can go with that. And if you want to just binge the whole back catalog and dip and just get this, then feel free. I got a feeling you'll stick around though. So patreon.com/Lloyd B. And then sign up with Craig Petty as the discount code and you'll get 50% off.
Lloyd, thank you so much. You are brilliant. Now, go and do sports day with your kid.
Good. It starts in 1 hour exactly.
Right. Well, I will see you.
I said to him, Thomas, are you going to win the race today? Have you been practicing? And because he is the fastest kid in his class, right? He's like a little lightning bolt. Did you win the practice as well? He said, no, Dad. I said, what? I said, what happened? He said, I was spiking my hair, and then my teacher blew the whistle, and when I turned around, they'd all gone. So we ain't bringing home the gold today, Daisy.
Yeah, but it's more importantly, it looks good, right? He's got the right idea. It looks good.
Wasn't a psychic to look like Sonic the Hedgehog? They fucked off and left it.
That's funny. That's funny. Well, I hope he wins. Lloyd, you're amazing. Come and join the Society of Secrets because I'm there. All the cool kids are there. I'll take it back to the studio.
Now, it's fair to say that Lloyd is one of my best friends in the world. And I know there's going to be people in the comments that go, of course, Craig is going to give this a good review. He's biased. It's his friend, blah, blah, blah. if that's what you think, then don't buy this. Don't buy into Lloyd's membership. Don't join the Society of Secrets. I don't care. I genuinely don't. This is my opinion. My opinion, if this was a product, I would happily pay 40 or 50 quid for this immediately. I've already started performing this in the real world. Now, a few things that you need to know. This uses a memorized deck, but you do not need to know the memorized deck. It uses a stack. It can be a mnemonic, it can be Arison, it can be eight kings, it can be Stebbins. So you can use any stack that you want to use. Now, once you've but the deck is stacked. So the deck is stacked, right? Once you but you don't have to memorize the deck. That's the important thing. It's not like you have to be aware of memorizing the deck. But the fact that it is a memorized deck is great, because a lot of the time I carry a mem deck around with me anyway. I have a lot of tricks that use mem decks, and you guys probably know, if you're a fan of the channel, I perform mem deck magic an awful lot. So because of that, I do have a mem deck around with me all the time anyway. So having the ability to maybe go into a couple of mem deck tricks and then go into this one and then maybe one more afterwards is just super practical for me. It's super practical. I also love the fact that this is just on the spectator's phone. You don't even need to have your phone on you. You can be naked if you wanted to, and you can still do this trick, because you can act, everything is done on the spectator's phone. I also love that the site really looks legit. It looks like a training site that train people in memory, memory skills and card counting and so on and so forth. I love all of that. And you know what I especially love, and I mentioned this on the chat with Lloyd, but I love the fact that the number is a free choice, and it really is. And yes, obviously, there's a way of you generating the card, and the card is being randomly generated, but it's not. But the system that Lloyd's created is, you saw Tom, I performed it to Tom, and I was like, do you want to press it one more time or one more time? They genuinely can go again. Look at that card. If they don't like that one, they can go again. If they don't like that card, they can go again. They can go again. And the reason is, Lloyd has he's combined Maxim, which was an app he created with Murphy's, with some of the structure of what happened with the Atomic deck, and created it around a regular deck of cards. And he's put all of that together to make this. And this is just very, very clever. It means that you can literally have them change their mind, and if they don't like the card, change it again and change it again and change it again and change it again and change it again, which is just genius. And that's the part that absolutely floored me. That's the part completely fooled me, because I had no idea. I thought I knew what was happening with it, and then he went to that point, and I was like, I have no idea what's going on. And there's a couple of different outcomes, and they're all as strong as each other. You're not going to believe me, but it's true when I say that what you just saw was one of the weakest outcomes. My favorite outcome is the one that happened to me, where I don't want to know what happened. I don't want to tell you what happened, but it just completely floored me. It completely floored me. The cool thing is, you're instantly reset as long as you don't shuffle your mem deck. You're ready, or your stack deck. You're ready to go into it again. It packs small, plays big. Happens on the spectator's phone. So there's no reset. They can be on their phone afterwards, and they're going to be able to use it like a memory training game. It's great. This is fantastic. And don't forget, you pay £15, $14.99, but with a discount. Because we've got that incredible discount that Lloyd set up with us for a month. So you pay like, what, £7.50 or something like that. You get access to the Society of Secrets for a month, which is great. You get access to all of the Society of Secrets, including the Discord, and you get this trick, which is just worth its weight in gold. And then you get all the other content that Lloyd's puts out all the time anyway. Society of Secrets is great. I've been a member since day one, and the content just keeps getting better and better. So I'm going to give this 150%. This is amazing. If you are after an ACAAN and you want to do it with a stack deck, and you don't want to have any fuss, then this is the way to do it. Absolutely incredible. Lloyd, my friend, you are a genius. So there you go, guys. That's another video in the bag. Thank you once again for joining me right here on Magic TV. Now, don't forget, you want to see more videos like this, like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below. I'm going to be back again tomorrow with another video. It'll be it's going to be a 5x5 tomorrow, so look out for that, and I'll see you again. Thanks very much for watching. My name's Craig, and this is Magic TV.